I've been watching all the Star Warses to get ready for new Star Wars, which I've already seen now at this point. Those original trilogy movies, no one was on set telling anyone how to pronounce anything.
I think about that all the time. Like Han or Han.
Princess Leia. Everyone British says Leia. Tatooine. It's all like there was no one. I feel like every time Obi-Wan says anyone's name, he says it, and
Totally
no one
different.
corrected him because he's like Alec Guinness.
Could also be like it's all different dialects in space.
Sure.
I feel like it changes sometimes even between characters.
Yeah.
Like Leia will sometimes say Han and sometimes say Han.
Yeah. And what is it that Obi-Wan says to Luke? He says something.
Use the Force.
He says that too, but he says something the wrong way, and because Luke's in the scene with him, he repeats it back to him the wrong way. But then in the rest of the movie, he says it the other way. I just can't remember what it was. It was when he's like doing the sparring and all that stuff.
Lightsaber.
Nope, wasn't that.
Lightsaber.
It'll come to me.
Jedi.
Oh, he says Obi-Wan says Yoda at one point.
Yoda.
I was going to
When
say
did
that.
he say Yada?
Yeah.
I've been rewatching them too. I don't remember Yada.
The first time he mentioned, he's like, "Go to Dagobah, find Yoda."
Yada. Baby Yada.
It doesn't roll off the tongue as easily.
Yeah, and now it's all like, I assume they've got people in control of that. It's like, you have to pronounce it this way. But on the set of the original, especially the original 2, no one was there doing that.
I've been when I get ready in the morning, I'll have the TV on here talking about, and I've been rewatching Solo that way. And just this morning, I saw the explosion that they said was inspired, or that they used like a slow-mo guys for reference. There's so much about that movie I'd forgotten.
Like what?
Like the robot that flies the ship that is into Lando and wants equal rights.
Yeah, the Fleabag.
Right. I was like, oh, I totally forgot that this robot existed.
And that robot becomes like the Millennium Falcon.
Spoiler.
Like,
yeah.
It becomes the system computer, the ship computer. Yeah. I feel like when you watch the original trilogy, you can see where the prequels and like the other side stories try and cram in bits to make the original trilogy make more sense. But I feel like Solo does it the best. Mm-hmm. Like the fact that it used to be Lando's ship, all that stuff. I feel like when you watch Episode 5, they talk about stuff and Solo makes so much sense. But other movies they like shoehorn crap in.
Well,
Solo was pretty good.
Solo is good. I honestly, Solo and Rogue One, I enjoyed so much better the second time watching it.
Yeah, and I think they really got kind of shit on.
I think I liked Rogue One more than Solo. Maybe it's because I had higher expectations for the Han Solo movie, just because it's like a more fun character versus Rogue One. It's like I didn't have any like character preconceptions. Mm-hmm. You know,
I think the main characters in Rogue One were a little flat.
They were
in comparison.
They
to
were.
Solo.
I think I don't know. Maybe it's just because I didn't care as much about the story, so I was like, oh yeah, this is just more a fun romp. And then with Solo,
fun romp where everyone gets killed.
Yeah,
I mean, Rogue One is a really good action movie. It's like Saving Private Ryan, but in space.
Well, it's like a Star Wars video game.
Yeah.
Like if you were playing a video game, it's like that's the movie I would want to play as a video game.
What is your all-time number one favorite Star Wars movie?
Empire Strikes Back.
I think Empire probably.
Yeah.
Empire, because I've just finished the original trilogy. Empire stands out for some reason. It's just like that's a really good standalone movie.
It's like perfect,
and it's the middle story in the trilogy too. So it's
I don't know if it's really like standalone. It kind of just ends.
It does. Like it's not like a complete satisfaction. Right. On its own, it's like it's an amazing piece of cinema. Mm-hmm. Technically, it's amazing, and I think the first one is like they had no intention of making more of them.
Right.
They like.
I think the first one's almost like
so much stuff.
It's almost like a prototype or like an alpha version.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, we're gonna make this and see if it works, and it works. Like, oh shit.
Like you can tell, they clearly didn't ever plan for Vader to be Luke's dad in the first one.
Mm.
What year did Episode 1 come out? 2007.
Oh, Episode 1. 99.
Okay, 99. Interesting. It's so funny because I watched the original 3 Star Wars movies when I was very young, and out of every single movie, I remember Episode 1 the most. Because I think it was like I was at an age where I could actually better process movies and story. And so Episode 1, just like I remember that one more than any other.
How old were you?
I was 10.
Do you think maybe it's also like you were kind of close in age to Anakin. It's like you kind of identify with the character on screen.
I'm not saying that I liked it the most. It's just the one I like remember the most vividly in terms of like what happened in it versus the other ones that I saw when I was
Which is bizarre because the storyline of episode 1 makes
no sense.
Honestly, episode 1 stands out the most for me too. Like if you were to ask me, if you were to like give me scenes from episodes 2 and 3 and be like, which one did it happen? I'd be like, I don't.
Yeah, don't fucking know.
People shit on the prequels a lot for because they're just not very good, but they shit on them for it just being all CG and stuff. There are so many practical effects in the prequels.
Oh yeah,
like they build so many models. The thing is, they just kind of like scan them in. They made a lot of miniatures and then just put it behind actors on green screen, so it doesn't feel real. But a lot of the environments are totally real all through the prequels, and I feel like most people don't see that or don't realize that.
They can't see it looking past Jar Jar.
Yeah, there is a lot of CG filth in there too.
Yeah.
But I mean, ILM probably wouldn't have developed all the stuff they use now if it weren't for the prequels.
Yeah, true. And
Like,
I mean,
I feel like other movies must look a lot better because of the prequels.
and I think also the prequels are the reason that we have a lot of the digital projection that we have now. I think they were like the first movies that really pushed theaters to upgrade to like a digital projection instead of traditional film.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, is better because it doesn't look like shit over time. Like that's the thing. Like if you used to go to the theater and watch traditional film, like every time it got ran through the projector, it degraded a little bit. So it's like if you watch like an old movie, be like, this looks terrible. It's just like all scratched up and grainy with the fucking cigarette burns in the corner.
So would they not order new prints?
They would eventually, but sometimes you'd get an old print that was just like so shitty and fucked up. I hated that. Nowadays, you kids in your fancy digital projection and your ones and your zeros.
But we still have to wait 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Why didn't Obi-Wan Kenobi remember R2-D2?
That's one of those things that's like, come on. Like, and also,
like, I feel like George Lucas knew what he'd done in the original series. So it's like, why write himself into this weird corner where he's trying to shoehorn in all the classic characters? Like, oh, what if Anakin built C-3PO? And it's like,
we didn't need to.
but it doesn't make any damn sense. Like, what if they just come across him later? That doesn't make any sense. And then they're like hiding Luke where like Anakin was. Like the whole point was to split up the twins, right? And hide him. Like they just hid him at home. Doesn't make any damn sense.
And Obi-Wan, he kept the same. Obi-Wan. See, I pronounce it differently too. He goes and hides on the same planet where Luke is, but keeps the same last name.
Yeah.
So it's like
Ben.
it's not really. I just changed my first name. No one will know.
Kenobi's just like Smith.
Yeah.
But they keep going back to Tatooine. They're always like, oh, that nothing planet out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's like-
almost everything, like even the Mandalorian went back right to Tatooine.
They should open a tattoo parlor on Tatooine.
Oh,
And call it Tatooine.
Are you drunk, Chris?
No, I really like that.
Thanks, Chris.
And when Han Solo gets frozen in carbonite, just ends up back on Tatooine.
Yeah, it's like,
It's like, of all the places, the whole galaxy, everyone keeps going there.
and
Yeah,
even
it's
when
like
they make
Los Angeles.
or even when they make a new planet, like in The Force Awakens, whatever it was, the planet Rey comes from, it's like, is that Tatooine? No. That's a different desert planet. Totally different.
With scrappers and
It's hard
slaves.
because people have already seen the new movie. I guess there's like early
I know.
screenings for some people.
Well, and when this comes out,
I mean,
everyone
it'll
will-
be out when this comes out, and I'm sure.
How did some of the
Don't avoid the comments of this podcast. I'm sure people are going to be spoiling stuff.
How did the people get into those early screenings? Some people
guess-
here got into early screenings,
Yeah, I think.
and I'm a little pissed off.
Ask them how. I think they might have
They're
like
dead
some
to me.
relationship with some press company that has access to these.
I'm more important than those people. I do the most important job at this company. I do this podcast.
he came in on fake Christmas Day and he was sick. Look how hard he worked.